Dr. Olorunfemi, you are based in the UK.
Yes, sir.
A fellow Nigerian in the name of Kemi Badenoch has just emerged the leader of the Conservative Party. What is your reaction to this ascension, especially with the prospect that Kemi Badenoch may someday emerge the Prime Minister?
Thank you very much. Yes, it was a thing of joy, really, to see a fellow Nigerian, Black British, rising to that exalted position as a Conservative Party leader, especially given an understanding that the Conservative Party was not really home to ethnic minorities, especially Black Africans. We tend to move towards the Labour Party. So it was quite a thing of joy to see her grow within that party and then to contest and then attain to that position. I will envisage that she will have a better understanding of development in Africa and commonwealth countries and Nigeria especially as well. So when issues that concern us are being discussed on the table, there will be an informed viewpoint there too. But I don't expect her to be a champion for Nigeria, a champion for Africa, because she's a British politician. She's a conservative leader, and the interest of the United Kingdom will come first in all our deliberations. But she will have a greater understanding of how it affects Africa, how it affects the Commonwealth. So that will help to bring some positive change more in our direction. So, but I don't expect her to go out of our way to grant onto Africa or Nigeria what we do not deserve. We need to put our house in order. The opportunities are there. Opportunities for political development, law and order, human rights, industrialization, agriculture, education. They are there and they've always been there. But we need to do the right thing. We need to, most of our institutions in Nigeria especially derive their roots from the British system. But where we operate them differently. Our policing system, our military, they operate differently from the British system. And that is where they got trained. So why are they operating differently? So there's greater levels of accountability that we deserve, or that we need to demonstrate. So, but there won't be any special favors. I'm not expecting her to give us any special favors, because that is not the way the system works in the United Kingdom.
Kemi Badenoch has, as a matter of fact, distanced herself from Nigeria, condemning it as a corrupt country. How did that hit you?
Yeah, thank you very much for that. It's a hot debate currently among Nigerians in the United Kingdom and the Black community. But I've also listened to her. I've listened to those comments that she made. There's quite a lot of them on the internet. She grew up in Nigeria up to the age of 16. Her parents are Yoruba people, and I believe her dad is from Ondo State, Ondo Town. He's a medical doctor who has a private practice, more or less in Nigeria. And her mother too is a Yoruba lady. So she knew Nigeria inside out, really, to be honest with you. When her dad died, she came to Nigeria for the funeral, I believe, and she has cousins. She probably speaks to Nigeria, her family in Nigeria every day, which is what most of us do. So issues about corruption, most of the issues that she mentioned, maybe she could have said it in a different way, but as you and I know, Those of us from Ondo, Ikitiasis, we are quite good at voicing our views and opinions very strongly. So she's not different from that as well. I think that's where she inherited her outspokenness from.
So much of what made me a conservative came from my parents. My late father was full of wisdom. He used to say, never take your spouse for granted. He also said, never run for fun because you'll get bad knees. But he also taught me responsibility. He would say 80% of what happens to you is down to you. He was right. And as a GP, he taught me how to solve problems. He would say, if you get the diagnosis wrong, the treatment won't work. I miss my dad. He taught me the most important lesson of all. Never be afraid to do the right thing. No matter what people say about you, just do the right thing. My father taught me not to be afraid.
Truth is truth, and truth is bitter. There is corruption, I believe, is thriving because of poor law enforcement in Nigeria. And she's acknowledged that, and she's acknowledged that she's done a lot of work with the British government to support the police in Nigeria, to support law and order, to support constitutional reforms, and which is where the help is needed. We need a police force in Nigeria to address corruption. There's too much people getting away with doing wrong things in Nigeria. So it's not really about, the corruption is about people, the fact that people can get away, really, with anything. So it's about law enforcement, it's about weak governance. And I think she's quite engaged at that level. She was, even with the NSAS reform, the reform of the police system during the NSAS, before the NSAS. She's been involved a long time ago. But she's very busy. She's a mother of 3. She's a politician. She's a banker. So she cannot be in everywhere. She cannot be everywhere. And she's devoting her energy to where she thinks she can help, which is at the level of policy, making sure that the police is reformed.
Our country needs us. We must not let it down. For this to work, we need to go back to first principles.
My personal view is that if with an effective policing system in Nigeria, Nigeria is a great country that will emerge. It's not even about the military, it's about the policing system. If you can get policing right in Nigeria, you will see Nigeria go sky high in terms of achievement, in terms of development. And that is where we are lacking. I don't think we appreciate that. But that is where she's focusing her energy to make sure that we have a good policing system at the policy level, at the government-to-government level. So she's Nigerian. She had difficulties when she was growing up in Nigeria is obvious. She said it. She's made it very clear. And she was telling the truth. A lot of young people are leaving Nigeria in droves now because of the same situation where she left. At that time, she left Nigeria. Her parents sent her abroad when she was 16 because of the difficulties. And people are still doing that up to today, including the ruling class, those people that are talking in government as well. They are sending their children abroad. They live abroad. Families are abroad because of the difficulties in Nigeria. So I don't think she should be crucified for expressing her views, which is born out of her experience, not a hearsay. It's born out of her personal and family experience. So we should actually applaud her that she's able to tell the truth.
We have to be honest. Honest about the fact that we made mistakes. Honest about the fact that we let standards slip. The time has come to tell the truth.
So what we need to do is to address the point that she has raised and make sure that our system works and our system can work. our system can work. Nigerians are very intelligent, capable, energetic, industrious people, but we need a government that can fit the same category of descriptions.
I grew up, as many of you know, I grew up in a commonwealth country. Many people in those countries don't actually carry the baggage that a lot of the left-leaning commentariat want to put on our country. We need to look at how we can help other countries develop as best as they can. We did a lot to help many of those countries. We can do more again. I would like to see that, but the answer is definitely not reparations.
Okay, there we are.
People of the Fountain.